students in the district.
Because that's what these funds are for. The kids that need additional support, not due to special education needs, but rather socioeconomic factors. After school programming for parents that have jobs, and they rely on those after school services so that they can work in our community. These are programs we will continue this school year.
The Green Bay Area Public School District will present a budget to the Board of Education on October 13th. They will then consider whether an operational referendum is needed. See more in the story on our website. From local news to what's going on around the state, Civic Media's mission is to bring you real news and great conversation. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
A new champion in the home run derby. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, slugger Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners won the home run derby in Atlanta. Raleigh with a total of 54 home runs hit. The All-Star game going on tonight. Freddie Peralta, rookie Jacob Mizorowski, and closer Trevor McGill, all there to represent the Brewers. McGill asked, where did reaching the All-Star game rank on his list of goals this season?
This was number one for me this year. You guys asked me earlier this season, and I kept it to myself that this is what, I was striving for. And a lot of hard work and a lot of pitchers in front of me, a lot of my bullpen guys in front of me, putting it down and giving me the opportunity to go out there and get saves this year. So, without the guys around me, this probably wouldn't be possible.
Basketball, it's the Bucks and the Chicago Bulls tomorrow in Las Vegas in Summer League action. How hard is it to build a roster these days? GM John Horst.
I think the NBA is as compelling and competitive today as it's ever been.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin is cheering on Bucky Badger. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Occasional cloudiness tonight and a slight chance of a shower. Warm lows in the low 70s. For tomorrow, sun to start the day, then showers and storms likely in the afternoon. Some could be strong. Warm and muggy with highs in the mid-80s. More storms tomorrow night. We're sitting at 84 degrees right now.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveBy.
What makes Wisconsin great this time from the EAA and Oshkosh Air Museum, along with Jane and Greg. Join us.
The Todd Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who loves to watch true crime, but only if it's shoplifting, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Night Light, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you with me on this Tuesday night. And man, are you in for a treat. We have a great show tonight, folks. We're going to talk a little comedy. There was a passing of an actor about a week and a half ago called Michael Madsen, who was in a lot of Quentin Tarantino films. If you don't know who he is, you'd probably know his face if you saw him. He was a great character actor and at times a leading man. And we are going to talk about his life and his career a little bit at 6:35 with a very funny guy who idolized him named Mike Schmidt, who has been on the show several times before and is very funny. That's at 6:30. And then at 7:20, oh, man, Conrad, we got a treat. for the
Yes,
fine
we do.
listeners. For the Couch Potatoes. 7,000 apart joins us here in the studio, and they will perform live at 7:20. Those are two, I mean, come on. That is an evening of entertainment right there, folks. And what better show to have such guests on than a show like Night Light that talks about entertainment on a nightly basis, as well as all the fun stuff happening in our communities. Conrad, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. You have, all right, this is funny. We were talking about nudism last night. It was
Yes.
National Nude Day, and our question was something to the effect of, where would you streak if you had to go streaking? Streaking is kind of a lost art.
Yeah.
And you said what to that?
Well, because we talked about this last year during this time, I believe. It was first cruise ship that fully allowed nude.
Right.
It was just a nude cruise ship out of Miami, and they're doing it again. And I just got an ad for it because my phone is listening. And
Your
they heard
phone
me
is
say,
listening.
They heard me say, I want to go on a nude cruise ship, and I want to streak it.
But did you, I mean, do you think your phone picked up on that conversation last year at this time of the year, and that's why it's sending you that? I mean, I know last year you signed up for the cruise, and they ran out of space.
They denied me.
You sent in naked pictures, and they said no thanks. But seriously, like, what do you think it? Because phones do that all the time with Alexa and Siri, and our microphones are on. You get all these ads all of a sudden. It's ridiculous. So what do you think that's from?
It had to be me talking about that because it just showed up today.
Yeah.
So it had to, because there's sometimes I'm talking about golf with my brother or something, and then I lay in bed, and then just see on Instagram, oh, here's Bad Birdie. Here's a brand that you like. Oh, here's the Golf Warehouse.
Here's some Titleists for sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm looking for it. Please stop showing me ads. I don't want to buy it.
Oh, God, it's everywhere. You cannot escape
You cannot.
consumerism. The ads and now on Prime, here's what they're doing, because I've been watching the show Ballard, which is a Bosch spinoff, and it's on Prime. So when Prime does ads, they put a little box in the corner. Buy this now. Click here. It's like, get out of my face.
I told you yesterday I watched some of those films on Prime.
Yeah.
And I saw that too. And I feel like they increased the amount of ads on there. I feel like I'm waiting for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds now. It's like, oh, after these ads, you won't have to watch another ad.
And here's what they do. Here's why I think they're clever, because they'll do like 2 minutes of ads, and it's like, oh my God, like it's merciless, because now we're used to no ads, or we've sort of gotten used to no ads. But then they'll do a commercial that's only like 15 seconds. It's like, oh, this isn't bad. Okay, then you got 3 minutes next time. Like, I feel like they're just toying with us. It's terrible.
I feel like, I really like Tubi that it's free.
Yeah.
But then they do have, when you're looking on it, they have like those yellow marks that are like, there's going to be an ad here.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm not looking forward to that.
You get like nervous energy, trauma. That's the voice of Conrad Krieger, folks. He is our producer tonight, who is working the board. And did you have a good day, Conrad?
I did.
Yeah.
I think my tattoos come to the point where it's starting to peel.
We never really talked about the tattoo. I got to say, it looks really sharp. It's very colorful.
It is, yes.
Tell the fine listeners what you're working with there.
Well, so the day before I got my tattoo last week, Friday, I did a dumb mistake, and I looked up on TikTok, where's the most painful spots?
Oh, come on.
I don't know why I did that. Don't ask me. I was a little nervous to get my first tattoo, and I looked at it. Originally, I was going to get this tattoo on my calf.
Oh, yeah.
And then the TikTok said, oh, don't get a tattoo on your calf. It hurts so bad. So I chickened out of that spot.
But how long are you really in pain for? You said when you got it, at a certain point, it really started to hurt. But how long were you in pain when they were working it?
I mean, so the first 5 minutes, since I'm not used to that, my body was kind of like rejecting it a little bit, I feel like. I got flush, started sweating.
Really?
Took a 5-minute break. They gave me some sugar.
What's the sugar do? Just give you energy? Or?
Yeah, it's to keep your blood sugar up.
So you don't feel faint or whatever?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And they say eat a big breakfast, so I ate 4 eggs.
Okay.
So I was stocked up. I was drinking a lot of water during the day. And I just think my body was not used to it. But once I feel like I got used to it, it started hurting less.
Okay.
I still felt it,
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like when I first got it. So, yeah, the black lines, I think it's called the linear needle. when they're doing the black what is it?
Like the outline or whatever.
Thank you. The outline, yes. That one hurt worse than the shading when they just did the color. But yeah, it took about 2 hours. And my brother made sure to make fun of me after it for being a wuss.
Sugar.
Being a wuss.
Well, what did he do?
Well, I mean, he has a lot of tattoos, so he's used to it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So he's like, on my first tattoo, I had to take a little break too. So, but the tattoo artist said I did a good job. So
okay,
he probably says that to everyone though.
Come back again. So we got a great show tonight, folks. As I just mentioned, a comedian and podcast host of the podcast 40-Year-Old Boy, Mike Schmidt, will be here at 6:35. One of our favorites, 7,000 Apart, Amelie and John will be here at 7:20. They are a Swedish/Green Bay rock duo, and they are fantastic. And we've had them on the show since the show's inception, really. We've had them several times here in the studio. They will be here tonight at 7:20. Rocking the studio. That will be fun. I think we should, without further ado, get to our question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
In honor of his 83rd birthday, what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? That's a good one. We love who doesn't love Harrison Ford? He's like America's actor. He's a good guy, just a wholesome dude, always has dressed to the nines, fashion sense you could set your watch to, as I like to say. He turned 83, I believe, on Sunday. So in honor of his 83rd birthday, what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-Civic. And you can text us on the app if you're listening on the app, like most of our listeners do. And if you are watching the radio on the stream on Facebook, Twitter, X, or YouTube, you can text us on the stream, your favorite Harrison Ford movie. If you got a comment about Harrison Ford, that's fine too. I'll say this, he should not be allowed to fly ever again. And maybe they took his pilot's license, but remember, he had within a 2-year period, he was crashing into a golf course, then in the car. This guy should not be allowed to fly a plane. But he's still a good actor.
When I was younger, I had almost had a chance to meet him.
Really?
My uncle has his pilot's license. He'd fly to EAA.
Okay.
And so did Harrison Ford. And my uncle met him and said, "You guys need to come." And we were 5 minutes too late or something. But my uncle met him.
Were you going to fly with him?
No, just meet him.
Okay.
But, I was I was 10, so I was really nervous about it too.
Oh, yeah.
Now I would have been yes, let's go.
Absolutely.
I don't care about anything else. Let's go to Harrison.
No, he is arguably, well, not arguably, he is one of the greatest movie stars of all time. His films have made money. He's a good actor, and he's done these big blockbuster films where he was the star and a movie star, but he's also a great actor. And on social media, we've been posting the question every day. If you're there on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, give us a like or a follow if you're so inclined. But we post the question of the day every day on Facebook. And I chimed in today on Facebook and I said, American Graffiti, A Fugitive is probably his most renowned role. I think he was Oscar nominated for The Fugitive. I love The Fugitive. It's one of those movies, I think we talked about this recently, when it's on in a hotel, you can't turn it off. As are a lot of Harrison Ford movies are like that. But I'm going to change my answer because I forgot he was in The Conversation, which I just watched about a month ago. Francis Ford Coppola, one of his first films. Gene Hackman is the star. And Harrison Ford plays kind of the heavy for the Robert Duvall character, but not a major role, but he's really good in it. And he's just a fantastic actor. So let us know. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I actually chimed in on social media as well.
Oh, well, let's just go to the social media answers, shall we? Let's read those first. Conrad Krieger. Oh, look at you. How'd you get to the top of the list? Is that because you produced the show?
I think so.
Okay. Favorite Harrison Ford performance is Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. I have a feeling that will be one of the most popular ones.
I love that episode because he's on Hoth mainly, and I love him on Hoth there.
It's
the start of the movie, yeah.
What is he on?
Hoth. That's a planet.
Oh.
Yes.
I would never have guessed that. I didn't know that.
I will say this, though. His new show, Shrinking, I
you
love him in
Shrinking.
that.
Yeah.
He is so good in that. He plays a kind of an older gentleman who's a shrink, but he also has starting to get Parkinson's and stuff like that. So he's dealing with that as well as being a shrink. He's great in that.
And Jason Segel, right?
Yes.
Is the other guy. Daniel Wheeler says The Fugitive is a classic. I can rewatch it anytime. Yes, that's a great film, Daniel. Thank you. And he's Sarah Jean Rosenberg, giving Daniel some props and says, Daniel Wheeler, so good. Agreed, Sarah Jean. Thank you for chiming in. Pete Schwaba, I said American Graffiti. I've changed my answer. It's The Conversation. Paul Vanderplas from Wonderfully, Wisconsin. He'll be on the show Thursday, correct? Yeah.
For the popcorn pick.
Popcorn pick of the week. That's right. Can't wait to have Paul back on the show. Check out Wonderfully Wisconsin, folks, on Facebook and probably Instagram, right?
Not Instagram, actually. Facebook. And
okay.
Facebook and TikTok.
And TikTok. Wonderfully Wisconsin. A great follow if you like Wisconsin food. And Paul just does a great job. But he says he has many fantastic movies, but I've always really enjoyed Regarding Henry. Now, that's an offbeat one. That's a great choice, Paul. Or should I call him Wonderfully Wisconsin? He's not posting as Paul. He's posting
Wonderfully
as
Paul.
Wonderfully. Mr. Wonderful. Thank you, buddy. We'll see you on Thursday night. Matt Cassane, Chicago comedian, says he was great in Apocalypse Now. Another great one. Yes, Matt. Thank you, buddy. Caroline Thompson says, I loved him as Indiana Jones and in The Fugitive. Cannot go wrong. You know what I remember reading about Harrison Ford when, like in People magazine or something in the mid-'80s, when all the Indiana Jones films were coming out, he could bench 375 pounds.
What?
That was a thing in the 80s, is what you could bench. I mean, it is kind of now, but that's almost in the 80s. That's like how you identified yourself. If you were a guy,
I mean, that's a lot
more
of weight.
important than your social security number. But it is a lot of weight. He's a very in-shape guy. Laura Enright says, Laura Enright, a previous guest on the show, says the Indiana Jones movies are classic. Well, the first three. I don't think it would have worked if anyone else played that character.
Correct.
Very well said, Laura. Thank you. And then my pal Brenda Socia says, Witness and The Fugitive. Yeah, Witness. You ever see Witness?
I don't think I have.
Oh, he hides out in Amish country. Great movie and a good drama. We're coming back. We'll read your text. And what else are we going to do, Conrad?
We could talk about the Emmys, you know.
We got to talk about the Emmys. Some great shows nominated and great TV for you to watch. Great color television for you to watch if you haven't seen any of them. We'll tell you what you should be watching next on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. You're listening to the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is the talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley for over 30 years and are proud sponsors of Mino and the Mayor's Eye on the Community. Insight offers comprehensive eye care, including glasses and contact lenses. Their doctors have a special interest in treating chronic eye disease, specialty contact lenses, and pediatric care. Find Insight on Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Visit WIinsight.com to schedule your eye exam. Improving lives by improving sight. Insight Eye Care.
You're listening to the American Democracy Minute, keeping your government buy-in for the people. The Brennan Center for Justice released its annual survey of local election officials. It found continued concerns for threats against poll workers and the loss of election security funding and staff now that the Trump administration has cut federal election security grants. The survey of over 800 municipal election officials found 60% were very or somewhat concerned about federal cuts to election security services. We reported in March on DOJ cuts of 300 cybersecurity experts from CISA, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, and the suspension of grant funding to states for hardening systems to fight increasing cyber attacks from Russia, China, and Iran. Of the surveyed officials, 62% were concerned by the loss of CISA's direct technical support, and 80% said the federal government should be providing the same or more funding, not less. 1/3 of local election officials are very concerned about political leaders interfering with the work of poll workers, up 4% from a similar question in 2023. An additional 1/4 are somewhat worried about interference. Officials overwhelmingly, 81%, are concerned about false election information spread on social media, which contributes to 38% saying they have been harassed, abused, or threatened for just doing their job. We have links to the full Brennan Center survey at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Mom Mommy, how come I can't sit in the front seat?
Because I love you and you're just not ready yet.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from
Schwaba. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Conrad Krieger, the kid working the board. Great to have you guys with me on this beautiful Tuesday night. I was driving down here. It was at 90 degrees. My car thermometer said, is that true? Was it 90 in Green Bay today?
I was too lazy last night, and I parked my car outside, not in my garage. And when I got inside it this morning, it was so hot. I had to just pull all the doors out, just let some fresh air go through it.
First of all, let me say that is true laziness. And it's bad. If you're too lazy to remain sitting and drive 20 more feet into your garage.
I think it's just pushing the button. That's the laziness right there.
Yeah, I can see where that would be taxing. We've got Mike Schmidt coming up at 6:35. Mike and I are going to talk a little bit about the legacy Michael Madsen left behind with his acting work. He was a staple in the Quentin Tarantino movies and a really good actor. He is the brother of Virginia Madsen, who is also a fine actor, and she has been seen in films like Sideways. They are siblings. Virginia is still around, but Michael Madsen passed away about a week and a half ago, and Mike Schmidt will memorialize him as only Mike Schmidt can, and maybe Mike will even have a story for us. His stories are outstanding. He's a very funny comedian and the host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And then at 7:20, 7,000 Apart invades the studio with song, with lyrics and music, and it's going to be an absolute joy to reconnect with Amelie and John. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? He just turned 83, and I just finished watching him in 1923 season 2. He's still riding a horse. I mean, the guy is like a specimen at 83 years old. So what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? That's tonight's question. Let's go to the text line and see what they have to say. Rob from Green Bay says, Witness. Yeah, Witness. You got to check out Witness Con. He hides a young Amish boy who witnesses a murder in Philadelphia, and then Harrison Ford hides out. I think he gets shot, and he has to hide out on the farm, and there's a love interest with Kelly McGillis, a kind of a love story brewing, but a good cop movie, too. To be honest, the love story element I don't think is that great, but there's some funny scenes where he's trying to assimilate with the Amish and coexist with them, and they're hiding him, and there's those cultural barriers that are kind of funny, but it's a good movie, a very good movie. Tom from New Berlin says, Morning Glory, a great anchor, but is difficult, plus 42 playing Branch, Ricky Chadwick Boseman, a lost artist. I don't know what Tom means there, Con, do you? 42 was
he did play a part in 42.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Morning Glory, a great anchor, but is difficult, plus 42.
Yeah, he plays Branch Rickey
well done.
in 42.
I did not know that, Tom. Thank you, buddy.
He has a really good part in that.
I'm going to look that up. I kind of forgot about that. I did see the movie. Steve from Florida says, I believe Harrison Ford's best acting movie was Regarding Henry. Who else said Regarding Henry?
I think that was social media.
Yeah, social media, yeah. I've never seen Regarding Henry.
I haven't either.
It's supposedly some fantastic acting. I think that's the one where his character, he gets shot in the head and has to go to therapy and come back from it. But I'm embarrassed to say I have not.
Yeah, he gets caught in the middle of a robbery and is shot in the head.
Right. But it's a drama, right? Like a kind of a stark drama. I don't think he kicks any ass in it like he often does. Tom from New Berlin says Shane or Shame. I think he means Shane. Here's the problem too. Harrison Ford has so many acting credits.
Yes, he does.
I can't even Con, will you Google that? See if he was in Shane. I'm pretty sure he was. Thank you, Tom. Mark from Prairie du Sac says, how much can you bench? Great exchange in Boogie Nights between Dirk and Reed. I love that Mark knew both their names. I knew Dirk. I forgot what John C. Reilly's name was in Boogie Nights, but that is a classic line. And I think, Mark, if I remember correctly, I think Dirk, or Mark Wahlberg's character, does like a cannonball off the diving board at a party at someone's yard, and John C. Reilly says, "That's pretty good. Let me show you what you did wrong." Like really passive aggressive. But I do remember that. What do you bench? Just great. Great 80s stuff. Sue from Verona says regarding Henry as well, I have to see this movie. I'm embarrassed, people. David from Richland Center says Blade Runner. Another one for Blade Runner. Great movie with... You hear that, Conrad? What do you know? Someone from downtown Green Bay has a loud car. Go figure.
That's really a surprise.
Beautiful. But I think Blade Runner, I think Daryl Hannah and Rutger Hauer also in Blade Runner. Great stuff. Tom from New Berlin says wrong text. So I was reading the wrong text. We were trying to interpret Tom's text and relate it to a Harrison Ford movie, but we weren't supposed to be doing that. Well, there you go, Tom. It was still interesting. So the Emmy nominations came out, and boy, I got to tell you, there is so much content. Yes. All I could think about was all the shows. Like, I've seen a lot of them, but there's a lot of them I have not seen. And that's how it is now. Like, I'm just watching the Queen's Gambit from 2020, and all these shows slip through the cracks. But the great thing about the Emmys is it kind of tells you what to focus on if you want to watch the show that everybody's talking, or the shows that everybody is talking about. So have you seen a lot of these?
You know, I didn't know. I thought Nobody Wants This was from like last year.
Well, we had Adam Brody on in 2024.
Before the election. So I feel like it's been a while. I think the next season's coming out next year.
Well, sometimes they air them and then they qualify for the 2025 awards, like the Oscars, you know.
That show I did enjoy. I thought it was hilarious. I've watched a lot of these, and my favorite out of all the comedy series is Shrinking.
Okay. Yeah, I got to check that one out, too. Comedy series, you got Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks. Great show. Nobody Wants This. Haven't seen it. Only Murders in the Building. Got to go back to it. Shrinking. Haven't seen. The Studio. Haven't seen.
Watch The Studio.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Because remember who said they liked The Studio too?
Who was it?
Mike Clemens.
Mike Clemens. Oh, he said that on Facebook again.
Yeah.
He did a reiteration. But these are all great shows. Abbott Elementary, like The Bear. I've only seen The Bear, like season 1.
You got to catch up.
I got a lot of catching up to. I got a lot of color television to watch. All right. When we come back, folks, comedian and podcast host of The 40-Year-Old Boy, Mike Schmidt, joins me, and we're going to talk about Michael Madsen, and Mike's going to have a story for us. It's Pete Schwaba and Night Light on the Civic Media Radio Network. You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
As Wisconsin as a fish fry on a Friday night, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. Two places that house veterans in need, one of them in Green Bay, now have to close because money to keep them open wasn't included in the state budget. Savannah Tomei-Olson reports.
The Veterans Housing and Recovery Program provides temporary housing, job training, and resources to veterans facing homelessness. It operates 3 short-term housing facilities across the state in Chippewa Falls, Green Bay, and Union Grove. Governor Tony Evers added almost $2 million in his budget proposal to keep funding the 3 sites, but Republicans removed it and gave the program $0 in new money. That's forcing the housing centers in Chippewa Falls and Green Bay to close. Evers says the Joint Finance Committee was warned by the Legislative Fiscal Bureau, the nonpartisan, basically accountants of the legislature, that this would happen if they didn't invest more money. Evers called the move irresponsible and says he'll keep fighting for veterans. And when the legislature is back in session this fall, veteran services will be a top priority. The Chippewa Falls and Green Bay locations will close September 30th. Veterans there will be offered alternative housing. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei-Olson.
A Fond du Lac man is charged with first-degree intentional homicide for the stabbing death of 27-year-old Walter Brooks on July 5th in Oshkosh's Menominee Park. 19-year-old Dante Riley made his initial court appearance in Winnebago County on Monday. The criminal complaint against him says there was a fight between 2 large groups at the park. Brooks was found later in his car near the park with a single stab wound to the heart. Riley is being held on a $1 million cash bond. He returns to court on July 21st for a status conference. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for July 24th. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News. For news anytime, log on to WGBW.FM.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Do I recommend Superman? Sort of. As a video, it rocks. But as a movie, I guess it's still just okay. First, the good. James Gunn keeps the action and story moving along nicely. The film relies on what we already know about Superman, his adoptive parents in Kansas, and Lex Luthor, who in this installment resembles a certain billionaire. The filmmakers choose to go right to the bells and whistles, i.e. action, music, and some stunning effects. They even introduce a character that looks like it stumbled into the wrong movie from Jurassic World. There were a few other tangential issues I had, including a couple Daily Planet reporters who didn't even need to be in the film. And with a total of about 5 lines, actor Wendell Pierce as Perry White had absolutely nothing to do in the film. But Pierce is a great actor and deserves the residual checks coming his way. The main players, David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan, are great as Superman and Lois. Having said that, there is definitely enough cinematic energy in this movie to make the theater-going experience more fun than watching it at home. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin has a game of cribbage with good friends. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Occasional cloudiness tonight and a slight chance of a shower. Warm lows in the low 70s. For tomorrow, sun to start the day, then showers and storms likely in the afternoon. Some could be strong. Warm and muggy with highs in the mid-80s. More storms tomorrow night.
We're sitting at 84 degrees right now.
Matt and Air on Air.
Author of America, Let Me In, Felipe Torres Medina is here.
My funny book about immigration. You can see how the current administration and their policies are affecting the communities. But I'm a comedian. It is really sad, but how about some jokes? Because that's the only way I can,
If we don't take a moment to laugh about something, we're all going to self-destruct.
100%.
Matt and Air on Air, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Albaugh Show.
I came walking in here just a moment ago, and there was a young lady sitting here with a chicken.
It's fantastic. Kaylee High from Stanley Boyd High School. What's the line of bird?
So this is Sue. She's a Dominique, and she's 6 years old.
Is Sue here? Does she laying eggs?
She did used to. She's too old.
So chickens go through menopause?
Yes.
Yeah, really?
Pretty much. Yeah, basically.
It's a post-menopausal chicken. My sisters can relate.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Maggie Dawn.
At 5 o'clock, I'm joined by State Senator Chris Larson. We just
Hi, this is Jenny Slate, and you are listening to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Gonna be some sweet sounds coming down on the night shift.
Welcome back. Great to have you with me on this Tuesday night as we broadcast from beautiful downtown Green Bay, statewide, over the gorgeous summer night that we have tonight. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite Harrison Ford film? It was his 83rd birthday on Sunday, so we're talking about one of the greatest movie stars, probably ever, I would imagine, in terms of accolades and box office he's been able to generate, an absolute legend. Jim Denny he's watching on the stream, says Harrison Ford, my favorite. The first one that popped into my head is Blade Runner, a true classic with him and Rutger Hauer. Great one. It's weird. The second one, the remake, I can barely remember anything about it. I was probably playing like video poker while I was watching it or something. But the original I really remember, and I especially remember Rutger Hauer. Dave, also watching on the stream, says Indiana Jones, Fugitive is great. The Jack Ryan character, clear and present danger. Dave seems like a fan. Thank you, Dave. He says I forgot about that one.
He's probably talking about regarding Henry.
Regarding Henry, yeah. A lot of people. That's got to be the front runner. Hey, before we bring Mike on, when did your brother text you?
Yeah, well, he says Star Wars Episode 6 or Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. And then he added on saying Mom and Dad have the show on. So I thought that was funny. He made sure that it wasn't him watching the show.
This show.
This show.
Yeah.
It's not him watching it. It's Mom and Dad.
Why can't your brother listen to the show? You got too many tattoos or something?
I think so.
Come on. All right. This is exciting, folks. One of my favorite guests is about to join us here at Night Light. He's always a blast to have on the show. He's a hilarious stand-up. He's an hilarious stand-up comedian and the host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, Mr. Mike Schmidt. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pete. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How's it going?
Good, thank you. Never has the word I'm so excited meant less, quite frankly. When you're like, I'm so excited to get now to my friend, and people are like, no, absolutely not. This couldn't be less
Listen,
exciting.
dude. If they've heard you before on the show, I mean, people talk about your appearances. It's very funny. And the last time you were here, my immediate supervisor, who's no longer here, said that guy was hilarious. So,
And that's why they fired him.
that I don't think that might have played a part into it. I'll be honest with you, Mike.
So they moved him down the road. They
said some
"All right,
edgy
fella."
things. They didn't like that you and your friends trounced those girls at basketball. So, all right, let's jump right in, Mike. I have to ask you, you were the first person I thought of when I heard about Michael Madsen's passing, only 67. And you and I joked a little bit about, or not joked, I was being serious. You thought I was joking when I said sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, these are our heroes. I mean, we're in the entertainment business. We were comedians, actors, these people that have done things that we thought were so cool. And I joked that when Springsteen dies, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a blubbering idiot for a month. Like, these people mean a lot to us. So I really did mean that. But tell us your thoughts on his passing.
Yeah, I did think you were teasing because, again, nobody takes anything seriously anymore and everybody busts balls and that's that. But I was shocked to hear about it. I was driving at the time and I have I got the Tribune app on the phone. And so the drop down menus will always give you news and it's always bad. So I never read it right away. Like, I'm just like, I can't imagine what's been done now. But it dropped down and I saw Michael and I couldn't make it out because the sun was shining on the screen of my cell phone. And Michael Madigan in Chicago has been he's in trial and he's for taking bribes. So I thought it had to be something else about Madigan's trial. And then I kind of scrolled really fast because I'm literally driving, going 70 miles an hour. And I saw Michael M. and I thought it was Madigan. And then I saw Reservoir Dogs. And I'm not kidding. I just knew. I knew because what else are they going to tell me? Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs loved his performance. Like the Chicago Tribune.
40 years later, yeah.
Right. I decided to chime in now. Or maybe they're just directing it directly to me now. And I had to, this sounds ridiculous. I pulled into a grocery store and I started crying and I didn't mean to, it wasn't like a thing, but, and also cause I get hit, when Eddie Van Halen, guys like that, Prince, they laid me low in a way where, and also I have I'll speculate on this and this is going to get too dark for your audience, but let's do it. When my dad died when I was a kid, and I was told in a not a gentle way, where somebody broke the news to me, like right in my face. Hey, your dad's dead, like that kind of thing.
Jeez.
And it just happened that way. And so now, whenever I see, like someone whom I cared about, a performer, and it's dropped on me like that, or not gently broken, because it is always it's immediate news because it's a celebrity. It kind of puts me back in that place. And so I immediately, you become 13 again and you just kind of fry up where you're like, what? You know what I mean? Like it's news you weren't expecting. It's a shock. And then you also are overwhelmed by the fact that it's something you loved. And so I just pulled into the grocery store and I literally, not uncontrollably sobbing, but just tears and I had to sit there.
Were you a fan, like when he was Mr. Blonde in Reservoir Dogs, is that what, I mean, you're kind of a guy, you're tied into music and movies and all that kind of stuff. Did you know about him before that? Or was that kind of where you discovered Michael Madsen?
I knew him from, he was in The Natural, and so I knew him from that, which I had to watch later because I walked out in a theater. Don't ask me why.
Wait, because of the movie, or
no? Yeah, when he struck out the whammer, I said, "This is dumb," and I got up and I walked out. Being a baseball fan, I wasn't going to take that kind of pablum shoveled down my throat. I'm getting the hell out of here, man. That's
good for you.
17-year-old me takes a powder on The Natural. I can't stand this. Walks out.
It's that one thing, and you said, forget it.
And
it's
early in the movie. I paid to see the movie. Walked out. Couldn't do it.
That's beautiful.
Left the Bolingbrook Plit in my wake and walked into the night. It's so bad. So he knew he was on there. You know, he played. I think his name was Bump, if I remember correctly. I don't remember.
Or Bud?
And then,
Yeah,
Bu-
I remember that too.
He was,
Yeah.
I think Bump. Yeah, I think. And then he's in The Doors. You know, he's
Yep.
one of the hangers-on guy who's like him and Billy Idol are like totally egging Morrison on to do a bunch of garbage stuff. But I did not see Thelma and Louise. I found that later. You know what I mean? Like 'cause
Yeah.
those were the things he was kind of known for. But then Dogs is absolutely my introduction to him as the guy I was going to love forever. Because I think I've mentioned it on your show, and I don't mean to be that guy again. But people who know me know this. It's when I saw Reservoir Dogs, it is literally the first time I ever saw a movie where I felt like somebody made it specifically for me.
That's a great line. Yeah.
I went into it. I read the review in the LA Times that morning. I didn't know anything about it. We went to a theater, and I this is a true story. I watched it. I sat there transfixed, shocked, because I love fake tough guy stuff, anything. And he was the toughest guy of tough guys. Blood and crackling dialogue. It was something I had never seen before, and it felt like it came out of me. Like it was like in my DNA instantly. And I walked out of this theater. I saw a matinee. I walked across the street to a Rite Aid. I got change for the payphone. And I called 3 of my friends in Chicago to tell them about that movie. And then I went back and watched it again.
Oh, that's so Mike Schmidt, and that's so great. It's so fun. When I saw Reservoir Dogs, that the first scene where they're at the table, you watch it and you go, I know I'm going to. Actually, the first 2 Tarantino films I saw were his first 2, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. And within 5 minutes, I'm like, I know I'm going to love this movie. I love the way he directs, the way he uses music, the dialogue. And so was Michael Madsen, Mr. Blonde, the one who jumped out at you first in that cast?
Yes, instantly. Like at the table, because he does, they do all the back and forth and the stuff is happening. But then Madsen is also beautiful, which doesn't hurt. Because, you got Eddie Bunker, who looks like a convict because he was a convict who wrote a book.
Right.
You got Tarantino, who looks he looks weird, like somebody pulled his head with forceps. You got Keitel, who Buscemi's a mouse. You got Tierney. You got all of them are there. And then all of a sudden they cut the Madsen, and you're like, who is this dreamboat? Wah, 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 wah. You know what I mean? It's crazy how amazing, beautiful he is. But also oozing malevolence, oozing violence, and just macho and tough and cool. Cool. He was cool.
Yeah.
And at the table, he does that thing where he's like, hey, you want me to shoot this guy? And he goes, you shoot me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize. And then he just goes, pew, and he winks. And in that movie, again, he was the things I was not. Like, I liked violence, and I used to get worked up about stuff, but he never got worked up.
Yeah.
Like, even there's beautiful, in Dogs, when he shows up with a Coke, he's got a cop in the trunk of the car, but he stopped for a soda. All these little things where you're like, man. And then Keitel's freaking out on him, and he does you're going to bark all day, little doggy, or are you going to bite? And if you watch that scene again, Keitel goes, what? I didn't understand it. You better say it again. But the best part is Buscemi just looks away like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like he almost covers his face with his hand like, oh, great. And then he repeats it. And then as he walks forward to fight Keitel, he gets a big grin on his face. Because he's nuts. He's everything, man. God, I loved him so much.
My guest is Mike Schmidt. He is the host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast and a very funny stand-up comedian and a huge fan of Michael Madsen, who passed away about probably 10 days ago now. We're talking about his career and his performance in Reservoir Dogs. And Mike, I read something probably right after he died that he just improvised. There's a scene, for those of you who haven't seen it, where I think he has a cop tied up. I think he's a cop, right? Tied up.
Yeah.
And the song Stuck in the Middle with You from Steelers Wheel comes on, and Madsen is holding an ear, and he starts doing this little dance. And that apparently was improv, and Tarantino was blown away by it.
Yeah, he does the dance before the ear, and then after the scene, he's holding, because he cuts the cop's ear off. He straddles him, and the camera pulls away, and then comes back where he's holding the ear, and then the improvised talking into the ear. Hey, can you hear that? Hey, can you hear that? Yeah. Cops screaming, bleeding everywhere.
So dark and horrible. And he's like doing this fun dance. I mean, it was just that to me, like I remembered him from a movie called Racing with the Moon, which is Sean Penn.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, that's that guy. I didn't know who he was at the time. And so that's great. So I will say it again, Mike. I truly am sorry for your loss and the movie business's loss. He has 350 plus credits. That's
Yes,
insane.
but a lot of them are like, Punch Me in the Morning 1, and then it's 4 sequels. You know what I mean? He was a dude. He was an actor, like a guy delivering pizzas. He delivered movies. Like he just showed up, probably worked 3 days, made $100,000 and split. And he wanted, his real love was he had his kids and he wrote his poems and he loved booze. He's that guy. I have to tell you this, you got to watch Kill Bill 2. He's in Kill Bill 1 and 2. He's one of the Deadly Viper assassination squad.
Rewatch. Yeah.
You really need to see the second one because again, he's an assassin who now lives on his own in a trailer and he's a bouncer in a strip club. And there's a scene where in Kill Bill 2, he has a scene with David Carradine where Carradine's talking to him. And you can see he plays it in a way where it's like he's filled with remorse for the things that he's done. So he's decided to live this garbage life to punish himself. He pawns his samurai sword, which was a once in a lifetime, thing to own. But he just speaks in these plain tones where it's just, he tells him to watch out for Uma Thurman, and Madsen's like, I'm a bouncer in a titty club, Bill. If she wants to start anything, she come down there, start stuff, and we'll get in a fight. And just this very plain spoken guy. And then when he goes to the strip club, he's just a hangdog dude, but then he gets an opportunity to once again revisit his malevolent past, and he takes advantage of it. It's great. You have to see it.
So great. Mike Schmidt, we will be, we're going to do a very short break here. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? Maybe Mike will answer that when we come back. That's our question of the night. So let us know at 7:20, 7,000 apart. The rock duo is here in the studio. Always fun to see John and Amelie. But when we come back after this, I cannot stress enough how short this break is going to be. We'll have more with Mike Schmidt. And this is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I come back to the place you are. All my instincts, they return. The grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride.
As Wisconsin is cheering on the Brew Crew. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You've been waiting for it all year? It's finally here. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411 for you, brought to you by Area 509 in Appleton, which, speaking of, it's Appleton's Children's Week from July 20th through the 26th. This event hosts hundreds and thousands of families throughout the city of Appleton for safe and healthy recreation with discounted or free activities all throughout the city, like at the Playground Fair, a free day at the YMCA, and so much more. So go check it out by going to WGBW.FM and clicking events.
Timeout. All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Veterans, have you explored your benefits lately? As in, really looked at them? Veterans who bravely served our country deserve the benefits they've earned and life-saving support when they need it. We know that no one can do this alone, and we're stronger when we work together. The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs stands ready to serve Wisconsin veterans, their families, and their survivors. With our network of partners like your local county Veterans Service Officer, we can help connect veterans with services such as education, employment, mental health services, veteran ID, long-term care, and more. We stand ready to serve you. For more information, call 1-800-WIS-VETS or visit WISVets.com. That's WISVets.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs with funding provided by the Milwaukee Brewers and the Brewers Community Foundation.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m. Mornings with Pat Kreitlow.
Folks just deserve a little bit better than the usual promises that they're getting. But our members of Congress, 2 of them from here in Wisconsin, recently signed a letter to Canada and said, Canada, you're on fire. You need to do something about this, which is really not necessarily the best course of action when your neighbor's house is burning down, is to send a letter complaining about the smoke.
Mornings with Pat Kreitlow. Weekdays 6 to 9 on your local Civic Media radio station.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs.
I'm Pete Schwaba. This is Nightlight. The kid Conrad Krieger running the board. Mike, my guest is Mike Schmidt. He's a comedian and the host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. We were talking about Michael Madsen, the last segment, who recently passed away and was kind of a staple in Tarantino films. Would he have, I mean, he's a great actor, no matter how you look at it, and certainly a type. What did Tarantino do for him in terms of, like, how, would he have been as much of a, I don't know if he's a household name, but would he have been as much of a name without Tarantino?
I don't know, because Hollywood got weird for a while, and also he kind of took a lot of jobs for money. So then that makes people think he shouldn't be in these big productions. But Tarantino was always willing to use him and wanted to use him and knew how to use him. You know, again, like I said, he's in Hateful Eight, and there's, again, it's just he was evil and malevolent, but also charming. There was a way he could do it, but not like, you know, Gene Kelly charming, but just he had a dimple and a wink and like a little gleam in his eye, but he was also going to just stab you right in the thigh, right in the perfect place where you'd bleed out. You know what I mean? He's just that cat.
He's not singing in the rain unless he's holding a body part that he just lopped off.
Exactly.
For a gangster, yeah.
But yeah, a scene again, he's sitting down and he's writing, and Kurt Russell approaches him in Hateful Eight, and he goes, what are you writing? And he goes, my life story. And Kurt Russell goes, am I in it? And he just gets this big smile, and he goes, you just entered. And it's one of my favorite. And I know Tarantino wrote it, but the way he delivers it is so perfect, with this smirk and this big cheerful smile, where it just, he was cool, but like I said, he also was dangerous. You just knew he was dangerous. And Tarantino knew how to put him in those positions. You know, in both Kill Bill movies, he's even got a small part in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he chews it up. You know, I mean, he's only got like 5 lines, but you don't forget him. You know what I mean? It's great.
Oh, yeah. And I think we talked about this in one of your previous visits. That became my favorite Tarantino movie. I am so enamored with that film.
Yeah. When I first saw it, I was like, and then the second time I saw it, I go, oh, this is amazing. Yeah.
I'm having deja vu. Yeah. I think we did talk about that. But I think Madsen is one of those guys. He's like a Robert Forrest or somebody. He's kind of like, actor proof. Like, he could be in a big movie, but he seems like he's one of those guys, maybe I'm wrong, where if he does movies for paychecks that are small indies, it's not going to hurt him because he's got such a recognizable face and kind of a brand.
Yeah, agreed. But also, as he got older, he looked different, certainly. You know what I mean? So, because again, he had a lot of that boyish charm. Because also, you know, like I said, he's in Thelma and Louise, and he's the sensitive one. He's the good boyfriend. You know what I mean? So he can play that. He's also in Free Willy, and he's the stepdad. And of course, you think stepdad is, you know, stereotypically evil, and yet he's there when the kid needs him. There's a great scene where he shows up for the kid and backs him up in a way that you wouldn't expect a stepfather to do it. You know what I mean? It's just so he could do kind of anything. You know what I mean? That was the deal. But Tarantino used him in the way that he saw fit, which is to use his kind of violence, but also his charm. You know,
that's great. Yeah,
I think other directors certainly could have appreciated it and seen. I mean, dude, he's in Species, which is a movie I saw at the movies.
He's in both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, was he going to not take the paycheck for 2?
Right.
Again, like I said, he's the only guy I know. He does voices in video games, and he's in a Michael Jackson video playing a criminal. You know what I mean? Like
funny.
He just took dough, man, and he was a working actor, and that's kind of gone away.
And the money's going to roll in because I was looking at IMDb before. He's got a ton of stuff in post production.
Isn't that crazy?
But like he's going to be on the screen for a while still.
Well, our mutual friend Pat told me a story. He knew somebody who worked on some of those kinds of movie sets, and Stallone did some of them. You know, like Bruce Willis was doing them near the end because he was bananas and he couldn't, do real movies. But no, that's mean to say. I love Bruce Willis, but he wound up getting ill. I don't think the medical diagnosis was bananas.
You weren't wrong. You just were a little insensitive.
Yeah, a little bit. And again, for a guy I love his work, so I can't sit here and just malign him. But so Stallone would come in. He would be, because they want his name for the box for the rental thing internationally. And so Stallone would work a day. He'd come in and go, he'd film all of his stuff in 11 hours and make his $2 million and never be seen again. And I'm sure Madsen did a ton of this stuff. Like I said, he probably drove how close is this to my house? You know what I mean? He drove out to the beach and he yelled at somebody and or stabbed somebody in a tent and then went back to his house in time for dinner.
You have so many great stories, Mike, about your celebrity encounters. And maybe we could talk about those after the news for a few minutes, unless you have something else you'd rather bring up. But what did you ever meet him, Michael Madsen, or?
I did.
Please tell.
I did. Well, I have two stories. One where I met him, and one where somebody met him for like kind of by proxy and did something for me. So I met him at the Virgin Megastore, which was down on Sunset and Crescent Heights.
Sure.
Yeah, which is now a Wacano.
So what that is.
It's a sushi joint, like hit and run sushi joint.
Okay.
So but he was there because when they finally released Reservoir Dogs on as a special DVD. They released it in a blue box, a blonde box, a brown box, a pink box, and a white box. Yeah. So and he was there to sign the DVDs. So I went and waited in line, and he was at the table, and he was, I got to the front, and it's that thing where, me, I'm going to use a nice word, verbose. And so, I just want to pull up a chair. Hey, man. But I know I can't. And I also want to be respectful because I'm also intimidated and weird sometimes because, these people don't know who I am and who cares. But Virginia Madsen was with him, his sister. And
Love
as I got,
too.
Oh, she's amazing. And by her statement.
We have to get to the news, Mike, and I feel like this story's going to pick up. And I also would love, because you're kind of
No, it's not.
You're kind of an intimidating guy too, and I was going to ask you again, if you have a different story you want to tell, that's totally fine. But I love the stories of you talking to John Tesh and Brandon Fraser. So you think about what you want to go into.
Also in the Virgin Megastore, both of those.
I thought Fraser was. All right, Mike Schmidt is here. We've got more with Mike after intermission here, and Civic Media's news team keeps you informed. This is Pete Schwaba and Nightlight. We're coming back for Act 2 on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. When you started out with nothing and you found that you're a self-made man, and your friends they all come crawling, slap you on the back and say,
This is 97.9 WGBW Denmark, Green Bay's real news and great conversation, a Civic Media radio station.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The pressure ramps up on Pam Bondi. House Speaker Mike Johnson calling on the Attorney General to explain more of what she reviewed regarding her department's investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. And there are calls for Epstein's convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. Republican Senator Josh Hawley.
I think we got to put it all out there, 100%. Yeah, if she's willing to testify. We got to call her in the Judiciary Committee, put her under oath.
President Trump's tariff policies may be pushing prices higher. The latest inflation report showing a 2.7% increase in consumer prices versus a year ago. Ukraine officials say Russia launched yet another massive overnight drone and missile attack. Reports of massive power outages. A manhunt in Los Angeles after a violent double homicide that left American Idol supervisor for the music, Robin Kay, and her songwriter husband, Thomas DeLuca, shot dead in their homes. A woman in the Karen Reed grand jury pleading guilty to taking information. This is ABC News.
as Wisconsin is dropping a line in your favorite fishing spot. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 97.9 WGBW News, I'm Lisa Hale. U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin says food pantries in Wisconsin, already feeling the squeeze as food insecurity rises, will be even more strapped after the budget bill passed by the Trump administration.
I've been traveling the state and visiting food pantries who are already strapped at their capacity, barely able to meet the hunger needs in their communities. And if people lose their nutrition assistance, their food stamps, are no longer able to purchase nutritious food for their families at grocery stores, they are then going to have to rely on food pantries, food banks, and again, they're at capacities.
Baldwin says over 3 million Americans will lose SNAP benefits under the new budget bill. About 705,000 Wisconsin residents rely on SNAP benefits for food assistance. Of those receiving assistance, 270,000 are children and 108,000 are senior citizens. Baldwin made her comments in a press conference Saturday in Green Bay on the effects the budget bill will have on Wisconsinites. Monarch butterflies are a beautiful part of spring and summer in Wisconsin. However, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services says that since 1980, over 95% of the western monarch population has disappeared. They were categorized as endangered in 2022, and some state lawmakers want to do something about it. Monday, Wisconsin State Senator Rachel Cabral-Guevara of Appleton introduced legislation to make the endangered monarch butterfly the state butterfly. Supporters hope that if it becomes the state butterfly, greater awareness and support for the monarch's protection and habitat conservation will follow. I'm Lisa Hale, 97.9 WGBW News.
The Brewers add more players. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers have wrapped up their picks in the Major League Baseball draft. Milwaukee adding 22 new players to the organization, 8 position players, and 14 pitchers. The All-Star game is tonight in Atlanta. The Brewers' Freddie Peralta there along with closer Trevor McGill.
I'm pretty fired up, that's for damn sure. Just happy to be around this clubhouse, and great group of guys to enjoy this with, that's for damn sure.
I asked rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski what was his favorite All-Star game to watch growing up. The Miz says it was the one he saw in person back in 2012 in his hometown at the age of 10.
Yeah, I went to the one in Kansas City, that would have been 12, there you go. I remember going to that and seeing that, and I thought it was the coolest thing that all the big stars were in one place, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
That's Brewers rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
As Wisconsin is brats on the grill for a tailgate, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Occasional cloudiness tonight and a slight chance of a shower. Warm lows in the low 70s. For tomorrow, sun to start the day, then showers and storms likely in the afternoon. Some could be strong. Warm and muggy with highs in the mid-80s. More storms tomorrow night.
We're sitting at 84 degrees right now.
Jane Matnair and Greg Bach.
Coming up on the show, we are on the road and live from Oshkosh, the EAA Museum. Matt Nair on Air and the Todd Alba Show. I hope you can join us.
Matt Nair on Air, weekday mornings 9 to 11. Matt Nair on Air.
Author of America, Let Me In, Felipe Torres Medina is here.
My funny book about immigration. You can see how the current administration and their policies are affecting the communities. But I'm a comedian. It is really sad, but how about some jokes? Because that's the only way I can,
If we don't take a moment to laugh about something, we're all going to self-destruct.
100%.
Matt Nair on Air, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Alba Show.
I came walking in here just a moment ago, and there was a young lady sitting here with a chicken.
It's fantastic. Kaylee High from Stanley Boyd High School. What's the line of bird?
So this is Sue. She's a Dominique, and she's 6 years old.
Is Sue here? Does she laying eggs?
She did used to. She's too old.
So chickens go through menopause?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pretty
really?
much. Yeah, basically.
It's a post-menopausal chicken. My sisters can relate.
The Todd Alba Show. Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who still likes to build a fort, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back, folks, to hour number 2, Act 2, as I like to call it, here at Night Light. Great to have you with me. Conrad Krieger working the board. We will have more with our guest, Mike Schmidt, in just a moment. If you missed the first part of the show, I will just share our question with you. We've got some great answers. What is your favorite Harrison Ford film? Harrison Ford turned 83. I love when people in the business who know him, and I ran into this a lot in LA, people go, "Oh, Harry Ford," because they know him. I was in a meeting once, and the producer said, "Oh, we'll get Sandy Bullock to do it." Like, it's weird hearing, you get used to hearing regular, their like showbiz names. But 7,000 Apart is coming up at 7:20. They will be here live, John and Amelie, talking about all their dates all throughout the state before they head back to Sweden like they do. And they're going to perform live in the studio, which will be great. We also talked about Conrad's tattoo, the Emmys. What else, Con? What am I missing here? What do we... I know I said something funny before.
Well, we talked about the nude cruise as well.
The nude cruise. Conrad's going on a nude cruise. He tried to get on last
year,
but he sent a selfie and they said no. Now he's going to try again. Hey,
this is my year.
We could do a remote from a nude cruise. I would do that.
Yeah. I don't know if we should show a picture on that.
Yeah, probably not. Well, we can't. We get FCC stuff.
Yeah.
But lots of fun stuff happening here tonight. Great to have you with me. Text in, folks, and I will read your text on the radio. And if you're watching us, if you're watching the radio, text it on the stream. That's always fun, too. And we'll talk about Harrison Ford some more. But right now, I'm going to ask our current guest, comedian and podcast host of the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast, which you have to check out, Mike Schmidt. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Harrison Ford movie, Mike?
Well, it's funny. I've been revisiting Harrison Ford recently. I've never seen the Clancy movies. I've never seen any.
Oh, really?
Of them. Yeah, I've never seen Clear and Present Danger, Red October. I've never seen any of them. So I have those are on my agenda. I will, and I'm not doing this to be hipster Joe, because look, we all know Star Wars, we all know Indiana Jones. These are amazing movies, and those are the clear choices. But I think did I Witness, of course, is someone I'm sure everybody's brought that up. I'm going to throw in The Conversation.
That was mine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. From early in the 70s, and a Gene Hackman movie vehicle, I guess you would say, and Francis Ford Coppola, and he's not in it a ton, but he's important when you see him, in the beginning, and you should see The Conversation. It's real great. And also, just after on The Conversation, he was Tom Brannigan in an episode of Petrocelli. So go find that online somewhere. I'm sure you can dig that out of a grave somewhere on YouTube.
It's funny you say that about The Conversation, because he plays Robert Duvall, right? Robert Duvall has a cameo. It's more than a cameo, but he's not on screen much. But Harrison Ford plays like his assistant secretary, and he kind of comes across as this guy that could either wring your neck or just be a lapdog, and you don't really know. And I think it's because he's such a good actor. Like, I thought he was going to kill someone in the movie at some point, but yeah, he did a really good job of it. And the Clear and Present Danger, the Clancy ones, those are good movies in my opinion, but like, that was right on the cusp of when Hollywood fell in love with flawed characters. And Harrison Ford is like Mr. Boy Scout in those. It's kind of annoying. Even before the flawed characters were a cool thing, I was like, this guy's like too perfect. His wife's a doctor. He never cheats. He doesn't drink, whatever. But they're fun watches,
Well, I when I first came on, you read from a listener that The Fugitive was a choice, and I'm sure you've mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah.
But it is phenomenal. I remember seeing it in the theater and just going, "This is crazy how good it is." And it also has, quite frankly, one of my favorite eating scenes I've ever seen in a movie, and it's so ridiculous, but it's like, yes. You know how you can put yourself in a position. He's so hungry because he's been running and all that, and he dyes his hair, he cuts his beard, he shaves, he does that. By the way, perfectly. He's literally using a bottle cap and a lighter to shave, and somehow looks amazing. And then he steals that guy's breakfast and wolfs the eggs right off the plate, and it looks so delicious, even though it's hospital eggs. I'm like, nothing's ever looked that delicious in my life.
That's why I love having you on the show, Mike. I love those little nuanced things you pick up in movies like that, because I remember kind of thinking the same thing, but I've never verbalized it or talked about it.
But I can't believe, because you said it, you knew instantly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't drink. at all. I don't, I'm not an alcohol guy, but if you watch Django Unchained, Christoph Waltz pulls 2 beers from a tap, and I go, I've never wanted a beer more in my life than this. And then DiCaprio and Madsen, both in separate movies. DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Madsen in Kill Bill 2, make margaritas in a blender, cracking the ice cubes into it and then shaking it to make it drinks. And I don't drink, but they look delicious. The drinks, both of them look incredible. Like I just want them in my mouth.
Cinematic margaritas. That's awesome.
Sir.
You were telling a story about meeting Michael Madsen, so I'd love to have you finish that.
Oh, so the closer I got to the table, the closer I started to realize that maybe, Michael had joined us in body, but maybe not fully in spirit. He might have had a few. He might have, Christoph Waltz might have pulled a couple for him, and they tippled a little bit before he showed up. And I realized that Virginia was there as kind of a caretaker. She was there making sure he was cool and okay and everything was fine. He wasn't out of control. He was going through the motions of signing and smiling, but you could kind of see he was fogged over, like he wasn't really there. And then I got to the table, and I didn't want to bother him, and I didn't want to say anything. But he looked up and he gave me the smile, and I gave him the finger gun shoot, and he looked at me and he did the same thing, like the psh back, and I signed my DVD and my one from my buddy Max, and I told him my story about seeing the movie twice, and he could, and just a lot of all right, yeah. Like he just,
That's so
not
cool.
But then, and I have his autograph. I still have the box with the autograph on it. And then, Pardo met him in a place, like not a bar, a nightclub or whatever. And Madsen was hammered, and he's like, I got to get Schmitty his autograph. If I see him and I don't get it, I'm insane, right? And Pardo tells me this story, builds it up, and then he hands me a cocktail nap and he goes, "Here you go." And it looked like an EEG. Like, you wouldn't know if he had a stroke in the middle of it. I mean, it just was a mess. It looked like the embroidery on a square dancer's shirt. It was that awful. Just like this endless series of loops. And I'm like, I threw it out. I mean, and it's funny. My friend's like, you should have said it's a great story. I go, but I couldn't prove anything because nobody would believe it anyway.
Right.
It's so awful. But yeah, credit to Jimmy for getting it, and he handed it to me and just saw my face and laughed. I was like, "Oh no, it was so bad."
He wasn't, I'm sure, because I know Jimmy, but he could have been playing a joke on you too. No, really, I ran into him, and this is his.
It could have been. Yeah, to this day, he could be selling it on me.
I'll share this with you just because Jimmy's been on the show a few times too, and I know we have listeners that really like Jimmy too, and he. I think if I told you this, please stop me. But I had this horrible shirt on the last time he was on. It was December. It was cold. And I just grabbed something. I knew I was going to have to stay over in Green Bay because there was a blizzard. So I grabbed the first warmest shirt I could find. And I looked like I was out of like Columbo or something. I had this suede 2-tone shirt on. And I said to Conrad, if Pardo doesn't make fun of this shirt, I'll think he's slipping. Well, honest to God, Mike, he comes on the stream and I immediately see Jimmy's wheels turning, and he's looking at my shirt. And as soon as I welcome him to the show, he goes, "What's going on with that shirt, friend? What do you got? Something out of the Tim Walls collection there?" Beautiful.
I'm going to do this. I'm sorry. I know we're pressed.
No,
it's not my story to tell, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Jimmy's on a payphone, and our mutual friend Russ McGarry walks up to him while he's on the phone. Yeah. And Jimmy's talking, doesn't even look at him. Russ walks up, and our friend Russ is a distance runner, thin man. He looks like a Color Forms. Okay. If you remember that
too, right?
At the time. Yeah. And he walks right up to Jimmy and he just kind of looks at him because they're working together. And Jimmy doesn't even blink. He's on the payphone and he goes, I'm going to have to ask you to hold on for a second because Russ McGarry has arrived and apparently he has AIDS. And then he pauses for the guy on the phone to talk. And then he looks at Russ and goes, "Russ, do you have AIDS?" He asks him after saying apparently he has AIDS. Russ,
no.
Do you have AIDS? No, Jimmy. I'm sorry you made me do it.
Listen, you're not on your dance floor.
One more Jimmy story because it's my favorite.
Favorite
story. He and our mutual friend Pat and a group, they went to a concert in the park. I think it might have been the Knack. Okay, and it was like a free concert in the park in Woodland Hills, and they're all just you're just vibing on a summer. Everybody's having fun and everybody's watching the show and having a good time. And there's a beach ball. Everybody's bouncing a beach ball around. It's just, one of those kind of things. It's a summer crowd. And Jimmy's watching the show. Everybody's watching. And then the beach ball gets bounced over and it comes over and it lands by Jimmy. He picks it up, pulls out a marker and signs it and knocks it back into the crowd. as if they were bouncing it the whole time to get it to him for the autograph.
him, yeah.
Oh my! Didn't sell it. Like, didn't tell anybody. Watch this. Just picked it up, signed it, did that Jimmy wave, and throws it back into the crowd. Oh, how funny is that? It might be the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's funny, but I can continue that story, and I probably that night, because this will be the last inside story I tell folks, I swear. But that night, I think they went to Paul Gilmartin's afterwards, and I was there, and they were telling a story about trying to get the Knack to sign their album. And Jimmy said, he's telling the story. He goes, Pat and I are waiting there patiently, and then, a couple of dorks come up and want him to sign something, and everybody kind of looked around the room like, oh, really? It's gorgeous stuff. All right, so we've got about 3 minutes left, Mike, and I don't know if that's time for one, but I would love for you to tell a condensed version of either the time you met Brendan Fraser or Tesh, because you are an intimidating guy. What are you, 6'3"?
6'2".
You're big dude. And
yeah. And 3:30 these days, or 3:20, whatever.
Nice.
I had a biscuit for lunch. Who knows? So, and they're very short stories because they're true. It's what happened. Well, I was at the Virgin Megastore once, and I was walking around, and Brendan Fraser, in the old days, folks, they used to have displays of video game consoles, and you could play the game in the store. It was under lock and key and plexiglass, but the controller was out, so it was welded to it, but you could kind of play. So I walked up, and I'm to his left behind him, and I'm watching, and he's playing, and he's kind of nervous. He kind of glances over at me, and he glances over at me again. And Brendan Fraser, big guy, taller than me.
Yeah.
And but he's just playing the game, and I start, because I'm dumb. I'm like, oh, get him. Oh, dude. Like, I start playing it a little bit, and these little kids start laughing because they're there and we're having fun, haha. And Brendan Fraser's playing, and Brendan Fraser looks again at me twice more. And I go, oh, dude, no, you got to, and the one kid goes, go in the cave or whatever says, and Brendan Fraser just looks at me and he goes, I mean, I've never seen a man move this fast. He just goes, it's all you. And he walks away as fast as he can. He lets go of the controller mid-game. It's all you. And he goes, and like kind of a quick, brisk, and out of the store. I sent him home. I sent him packing. I sent the mummy on his way.
He's like, I'll just buy this.
Yeah. Why am I playing a game? And people know who I am now. I forgot.
Oh, that's so funny.
Same location, Virgin Megastore. I'm with my buddy Dennis Eggenberg, and at the time we're going to go down to the parking garage. We're splitting, and the elevator opens, and John Tesh is inside the elevator. Now, you want to talk about? You tell me I'm intimidating. Both these guys are bigger than me. Tesh,
Tesh is like 6'6".
Yeah. He's a Fred Gwynn wannabe. I mean, he's a monster, dude. So and also just a giant, horse head. I mean, it looks like a Venetian urn. So we get in, and he didn't have a button pushed on the thing when the door opened. So in my brain, I'm like, was that his floor? Like, I don't even know. So we get in, and I punch our floor, and I go, what floor, Mr. Tesh? And he reaches out as fast as anybody, and he just goes bing, 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 and he hits open door, and then he runs out of his car, runs out of the elevator to his car. Runs from us. Because the second I recognize him, I guess he would, because he wouldn't let the doors close. He's just like, I just go, hey, what floor, Mr. Tesh? Bing, 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 run.
Anything.
I looked at Dennis. I'm like, what did we do, man? And you hear his car peel out.
Dude, you are the best. Thank you
so
so
nice.
much, Mike. Always fun. Let's
Love
do it
being
again.
Thanks,
Love
dude.
you, man. Talk to
Love
you
you
soon.
too.
Thanks, Mike. That's Mike Schmidt. Check out the 40-Year-Old Boy podcast. And as always, so much fun talking to Mike. We have a great in-studio guest coming up next, folks. 7,000 apart. You will not want to miss this. It's Pete Schwaba and Nightlight on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Let me tell you what you can do with my love.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m. Mornings with Pat Kreitlow.
Folks just deserve a little bit better than the usual promises that they're getting. But our members of Congress, 2 of them from here in Wisconsin, recently signed a letter to Canada and said, Canada, you're on fire. You need to do something about this, which is really not necessarily the best course of action when your neighbor's house is burning down, is to send a letter complaining about the smoke.
Mornings with Pat Kreitlow. Weekdays 6 to 9 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Your local Civic Media radio station is your source for real news and great conversation, plus fun and exciting contests. For a complete list of contest rules, log on wgbw.fm/contest-.
Welcome back. Hey, it's Tuesday, folks, and we are on the radio talking about all the stuff we love to talk about. Movies and music and comedy and TV and lots of cool stuff happening in Wisconsin. And we are about to kill 2 birds with 1 stone because my next guest is providing a lot of entertainment in the community and doing great stuff when it comes to music. 7,000 Apart, John and Amelie. How are you guys?
Hi, we're so good. Thank you for having us here.
So great. I think the last time you were here, it was my birthday, right? And you sang
Yes.
happy birthday,
Yeah.
which is very
Yes.
cool.
That was so fun.
And I just want you guys to know that whenever your name comes up with other people, I take full credit for having discovered you.
Oh, yeah. That's totally
You're
fine.
okay with
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
100% credit.
It's all you.
It's
all
probably
you.
a big line of people that do that. But anyway, it's great to see you guys. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to
Thanks
see
for
you
having
too.
us. It's really fun to be back.
How are things going?
Really good. We're very busy.
Yeah.
Summer is like the most intense time, but it's also the most fun time. And so we're having a blast and we're exhausted.
In a good way, right?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
You said
In a
you guys
phenomenal way.
were lower G tonight, and that's okay. But
It's lower.
We'll ramp up. Don't you worry.
you've earned
Yeah.
it, I think. You have a jam-packed schedule. Let's talk about this first because I just printed this up. If you're watching on the stream, maybe we don't have a... Con, are we on the stream? Oh, okay. Got to turn the TV on there. But your schedule is insane. You've got all these Wisconsin dates. First of all, do you go outside of Wisconsin typically?
Not typically. We used to before COVID a little bit more,
Okay.
and then it's just like it's so expensive touring outside. Like when you
okay.
can't, when you have to like start doing like hotel rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Because now we can just drive home, and so that
Ah,
saves
okay.
a lot. But we did do one show in Chicago at one of the biggest festivals down there, so that was really
Really?
fun. Yeah.
Pre-COVID, we were sleeping on a lot of floors.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Did you reach a point where you're just like done with that? It's
A
like,
little bit, and it's more like since we have shows here and people aren't sick of us yet, we might as well keep going, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think you guys put out enough new material that you don't have to worry about that. But you've got July 18th at the Rock Winery in Baraboo,
Mhm.
so you're heading south.
Yep.
Then you've got on the 19th in Schwaba
Uh-huh.
at is Jesse McCartney? Is that the name?
Yeah,
of the
we're opening. It's our biggest show of the year on Saturday, so we're
yeah,
Oh,
very excited.
for sure. It's like one of the 3 biggest ones
Yeah.
this summer for sure.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
for the Titletown district. They bring in national like touring bands.
Yeah.
And they're bringing Jesse McCartney this year. And last year we opened up for the ex-ambassadors there, and it was like 2,000 people or something. And
Wow.
a really good time. Yeah, right by Lambeau.
I'm just
big
gonna
stage,
play
really
dumb
nice.
here because in Baraboo it says the Rock Winery.
Yeah.
And here it says Jesse McCartney. I thought that was the name of a bar,
Oh.
and then
No.
I realized who we were
Yeah.
talking about. Okay.
No, he was like a big star in the 2000s.
Yeah,
like
no.
a big teen idol. Yeah.
What's it like when you guys open for someone like that? Are the crowds better because they paid more money to see a headliner and they're like really zoned in on the show, or does it matter?
So we haven't done a ton of them, and these are actually free.
Okay.
So the title puts on these free shows.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're just happy to be there, and it's cool because they're not there for us, but at the same time, like they are there to be entertained, and if we can provide that, then they're happy. And so we do like a little mix of originals and covers.
Okay.
They go in with no expectations,
Yeah,
or they
don't-
assume
they
you're
don't
going to be
ex-
bad. You
yeah,
know?
they don't expect
So,
a
like,
local
Bar's
band.
low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we can be like even a little bit above
Yeah.
that, they're
So you guys go in there and rock them, and then it's
Yeah.
like you got that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, then you've got Sturgeon Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever played Marinette? It's an hour north, right up along the water, right before you get to the UP.
Didn't we play their what's it called? The county fair in Marinette.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
We
did
did.
that last
We
year.
did do that last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this list going, wait a minute. Sturgeon Bay is smaller than Marinette, and they've got 7,000 apart. How do
Oh,
we
yeah.
get you guys in Marinette?
Well, just gotta book us.
All right.
It's that easy.
I'll make a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Then you got Sister Bay. You got two different venues in Sister Bay this summer. How does that work? Do people get competitive, or they say like you can't play that venue if you play here?
So Wisconsin is really chill. We've only had it happen once where they had like a radius clause, as it's called, where they were like, yeah, we don't want you to play within this many miles for like 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after or something.
Gotcha.
That's only happened once. Otherwise, like people are really chill.
People come. I mean, like we just had a fan that has been to 50 shows.
Oh my god!
Yeah, we got him a cake.
We got him a cake
Nice.
for 50th show. We were like, I don't know what to sing you, but we'll sing you something. You know, like,
That's fantastic.
there's not 50th show song or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Are you at a point right now where I would imagine you have favorite venues or towns to play? Like when it comes to like crowds or maybe mob mentality, whatever you want to call it, do crowds take on lives of their own when they're watching you guys?
I mean, sometimes I would say like, I don't think we have a favorite because like every crowd is different, and we love that. We love when people are like quiet listening. We love when there's like a lot of stuff going on. We love when people come up and dance. We love when there's kids around.
Nice.
We love when there's a more mature audience. Like, I think what we really love is that there is such a wide variety, and we're starting, and we always we adjust our set list based on the people that we see in the audience and the vibe. Like if John and I are doing a duo show at a winery, we'll keep it a lot more low key, and we'll do a lot more storytelling.
Different than like Summerfest.
Yeah, than like
Like-
Summerfest where you just go song, or like playing at a wedding where people just want to dance. Like it's not the time to tell a story. You know what I mean? Like, so I think playing so many shows, we've learned how to kind of cater to each audience.
Okay.
And it's so cool when you see that working.
You're old pros now.
It's useful for the opening slots as well because you can kind of judge the audience and be like, okay, they're going to not like this next song that we had chosen. So let's replace that one, you know?
And we make decisions on the fly. Yeah.
That's so cool. John and Amelie are here in the studio, 7,000 apart, the rock duo that splits time between here in Northeast Wisconsin and Sweden. They're going to perform after the news. And I'm going to ask you guys, what was I going to ask you? I want to ask you about, I don't know, I'll think of something good. I want to ask you how it went at Summerfest. So we'll do that too after the news. 7,000 Apart is in the studio, folks. Do not leave or you will miss their kick-ass performance. That is coming up next. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Gotta get away, I don't know where to go. It's hopeless, so I guess I'll leave it alone. Well, I spent all that day fixing up to go somewhere.
You're listening to the Talk of Green Bay, WGBW, home for the Maggie Dawn Show.
Download the Civic Media app in the Google Play or Apple App Store and take us everywhere. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The pressure ramps up on Pam Bondi. House Speaker Mike Johnson calling on the Attorney General to explain more of what she reviewed regarding her department's investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. And there are calls for Epstein's convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, to testify before Congress. Republican Senator Josh Hawley.
I think we ought to put it all out there, 100%. Yeah, she's willing to testify. I mean, we got to call her in the Judiciary Committee, put her under oath.
President Trump's tariff policies may be pushing prices higher. The latest inflation report showing a 2.7% increase in consumer prices versus a year ago. Ukraine officials say Russia launched yet another massive overnight drone and missile attack. Reports of massive power outages. A manhunt in Los Angeles after a violent double homicide that left American Idol supervisor for the music, Robin Kay, and her songwriter husband, Thomas DeLuca, shot dead in their homes. A woman in the Karen Reed grand jury pleading guilty to taking information. This is ABC News.
The Brewers add more players. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Baseball, the Brewers have wrapped up their picks in the Major League Baseball draft. Milwaukee adding 22 new players to the organization, 8 position players, and 14 pitchers. The All-Star game is tonight in Atlanta. The Brewers' Freddie Peralta there along with closer Trevor McGill.
I'm pretty fired up, that's for damn sure. Just happy to be around this clubhouse, and great group of guys to enjoy this with, that's for damn sure.
I asked rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski what was his favorite All-Star game to watch growing up. The Miz says it was the one he saw in person back in 2012 in his hometown at the age of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the one in Kansas City, that would have been 12, there you go. I remember going to that and seeing that, and I thought it was the coolest thing that all the big stars were in one place, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting.
That's Brewers rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. The summer box office remains financially healthy thanks to The Man of Steel. Superman was the top dog to no one's surprise, pulling in $122 million domestically over the weekend and almost another $100 million from overseas. Here at home, that's the third biggest opening of the year. The news was good for DC Comics as director James Gunn is also the co-head of the whole operation, so they needed this to be a winner. Rounding out the top 5 were all big-time blockbuster-esque films. Jurassic World Rebirth was the top dog last week and came in second place with 40 million big ones. In its third week of release, F1 delivered 13 million at the box office. And rounding out the 4th and 5th place were Kid Flick's How to Train Your Dragon, which came in with close to 8 million, and Pixar's Elio, which came in with just under $4 million. Superman is expected to top the charts again next week, as there will be no real competition until the Fantastic Four: First Steps hits the big screen July 25th. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Local news, weather, and sports on air and streaming on the Civic Media app. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. Occasional cloudiness tonight and a slight chance of a shower. Warm lows in the low 70s. For tomorrow, sun to start the day, then showers and storms likely in the afternoon. Some could be strong. Warm and muggy with highs in the mid-80s. More storms tomorrow night.
We're sitting at 84 degrees right now.
Matt Nair on air.
Author of America, Let Me In, Felipe Torres Medina is here.
My funny book about immigration. You can see how the current administration and their policies are affecting the communities. But I'm a comedian. It is really sad, but how about some jokes? Because that's the only way I can,
If we don't take a moment to laugh about something, we're all going to self-destruct.
100%.
Matt Nair on air, weekday mornings 9 to 11 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. The Todd Albaugh Show.
I came walking in here just a moment ago, and there was a young lady sitting here with a chicken.
It's fantastic. Kaylee High from Staley Boyd High School. What's the line of bird?
So this is Sue. She's a Dominique, and she's 6 years old.
Is Sue here? Does she laying eggs?
She did used to. She's too old.
So chickens go through menopause?
Yes.
Yeah, really?
Pretty much. Yeah, basically.
It's a post-menopausal chicken. My sisters can relate.
The Todd Albaugh Show, weekdays 2 to 4 on your local Civic Media radio station and on the app. Todd Albaugh.
Hey, everybody, join us next time. We're on the road for what makes Wisconsin great.
Song because he plays it a lot. That's a great tune, though. Our question of the night was, what is your favorite Harrison Ford movie? Tony the Trucker says, Pete, Harrison Ford movie is Cowboys and Aliens. Was he in that? I don't remember that. I don't think I saw it.
I don't know that either, yeah.
I didn't know he was in it, and I didn't see it. So I'll take your word for it, Tony the Trucker. He says, probably not one of his better-known movies, but still very entertaining. Okay, Tony. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the text. And then Steve from Florida says, I also like Harrison Ford's famous line toward the end of his movie, Air Force One, get off my plane, as he pushes the bad guy off the end of the plane. That was the movie. I don't know if you guys watch movies a lot, but where I think Steven Seagal got beheaded or something, right? At the beginning of the movie. And it was like, you think he's going to be in it. And it's like, it was a cameo and like a lid came through and killed him or something. Like, I was like, whoa, I love when movies do that. Hey, welcome back to Nite Light. I'm Pete Schwaba, and this is exciting because we have John and Amelie here. They comprise 7,000 apart. They're in the studio. I discovered them, and I'll take full credit for that. But they are playing dates all over Wisconsin, folks. So where can people find these dates that I have in my hand?
Yeah, you can just, if you type in 7000apart.com and then just scroll down a little bit, they're all there. Otherwise, 7000apart.com/tour. We put them on Facebook. We put a little like graphic on Instagram.
Bands in town.
Yeah, bands in town.
Okay.
If you just search 7,000 apart, something should pop
It'll come up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to do this without the interwebs?
Oh my gosh.
Like, like in the 80s or 90s, you had to get on a mailing list,
I know,
right?
but it also, like, that would also be so nice not having to deal with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just because also back then, like, the clubs did a lot of, like, promotion and they
Right.
had promoters.
People were looking
right.
for it too.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They didn't have as
it was
much
more
entertainment
exotic.
on, you know, they didn't have
Yeah.
online, so they couldn't be entertained there, so they had to go out and do something to be entertained.
You guys were like more mysterious then. It was like, and now you're directly contacting.
Now we're like trying to film everything that we do and put it out on the internet.
Right. That would be exhausting. Do you want to play something?
Absolutely.
I know it's your night off. I hate to make you.
It's all good.
Which one are we doing first?
Fever?
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Or
our
do you wanna do
latest
the other
single.
one?
It's called Fever. No, this is
7,000 apart. Here at Nite Light, singing Fever. Love it.
Kind of back is loving you. Why do you do the things you do? And everything goes up to come down. Somehow I don't get that when you're not around. This is a bit about the triumphs follow. Why do we just keep holding on? We know the sickness is just leaving us all. A little taste and then you're gone. You know we're bad for each other like this, but we can quit. We keep running fast, but we cannot run this fever. Around this fever. You know I'm bad enough, but do you care? So walk it up, but I'm beyond repair. My temper's heating up over all the counts. I'm not sure that I could top it out. This is a bitter pill to try and swallow. Why do we just keep holding on? We know the sickness is just leaving us all. A little taste and then you're gone. You know we're bad for each other like this, but we can quit now. We keep running fast, but we cannot run this fever. Around this fever. This is a bitter pill to try and swallow. Why do we just keep holding on? We know the sickness is just leaving us all. A little taste and then you're gone. You know we're bad for each other like this, but we can quit now. We keep running fast, but we cannot run this fever. Around this fever. Fever. Around this fever.
That's awesome. That's a great tune.
Thank Thank you.
I thought you played, when you said Fever, I thought you had played that last time, but I haven't heard that before. That's outstanding. Great song.
I don't think
That's
so.
new?
Thank you. Yeah, it's new.
Yeah.
It's on the
What's
new album.
going on in that song a little bit? I caught most of it, but
there's so many parts to it, so it's very hard to. Are you talking like lyrically or just like in general?
just like because there was a moment, and this is right where my kind of comedy brain went to, but where you guys looked at each other and you gave each other kind of a cute look. And for those of you listening that don't know, they are a couple, 7,000 apart. They're a married couple, so you guys gave each other a nice look, and I thought, what if they weren't getting along on that day? Would you still have that sort of?
I mean, that's kind of what it is. Like when we were in long distance. So for those who don't know, that's what the 7,000 apart.
We just got a text that said, "How did they come up with their name?"
Oh yeah. So we were in a long distance relationship for 3 years, where we were 7,000 kilometers apart from each other, which is like 4,382.5 miles ish. And
after meeting here in Green Bay in high school,
yes,
so
that was an exchange. I'm from Sweden originally, and so. Yeah, our relationship wasn't always great because like long distance is really, really hard.
Tough, yeah.
And so there were times where, it didn't feel like a good thing necessarily. And we weren't like great for each other. But the thing is like we were always great for each other when we were together. And so that always like trumped everything. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
Even though things were difficult when we were apart, that was almost a good sign.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're not supposed to be apart. We're supposed to be together.
Right.
So.
Very well said.
So we started writing. So this was one of those songs that was written about the long distance relationship because we realized we haven't written about it that much, just because people expect that it was like, oh, it was super great and they had a good time and like everything was beautiful and stuff, and it was like no, it was really bad. It was super, like, it was pretty rough like during long distance.
That's
but,
really interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys, as you get older and you're a few years removed from high school now, what do you like, late 20s or something? Okay, sure. But do you go back to that? Like you said, you haven't written about it much, but are there times where you do get nostalgic and you're like, hey, we're missing some great material here because we had a cool story.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened, I think, with this album a bit.
Okay. We wrote both about like who we have been, who we are, and also who we want to be, I think. So this was very much like a coming home album in a way, and just a very encapsulating our story in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Can you guys talk about your process, like marrying music with lyrics? I'm going to make an assumption here. I've probably asked you this before. Since you sing, I automatically think you're the lyrics and John is music, but maybe that's not the case. But when you come up with songs, regardless of who writes what, do you have a process where you come up with lyrics first and then you try to marry it to music, or does the music come first?
It's been completely different, all three albums. The first one, I wrote pretty much everything, and then Amelie edited everything.
Okay.
So like I'm a very general creative person, so I'll just like make 100 ideas, and then like Amelie's very good at editing things and making them refined and stuff.
And fixing, like a lot of times John will come with like one verse and a chorus, and then I will write the second verse and the bridge, for instance, together. And sometimes when we're in like a songwriting session with someone else, then I usually take lead on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I always change the melody no matter what.
Yeah, probably. Because like I'm not a singer first, so like she makes it to fit her voice and fit the types of things she does melodically normally.
Okay.
So she'll change that up and stuff as well.
She's waving you off like you're a tremendous singer. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying, get out of here. You're not the singer. 7,000 Apart is here in the studio. John and Amelie are here playing. They just played their new song, Fever. And what do you guys like to play better? The rockers, or do you like to do ballads? Or what's your favorite? What is your favorite stuff to sing, Amelie? And what is your favorite stuff to play, John?
I like anything that gets an emotional reaction.
Okay.
So whether that is like I can see when people tap their foot, I can see when people like get really happy, like, oh, we're playing their favorite song, or but I also love when people cry, like, because then I know I've reached them.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is like, that's what art is supposed to be. It's supposed to create feelings. And so anytime people have an emotional reaction, I'm really happy.
Yeah, I mean, I think first, like we both do music because we like to entertain people and like communicate with people, and that's like the main reason we do music. So I would agree that like whatever communicates best with an audience, like maybe you don't play the ballad in a bar, but also maybe you do. Like we just changed one of our ballads into this song that starts out really slow and then ends up being the biggest song that we have, like for energy level. So like I think it's more about like communication, and then it's more also about like what's fun to play. Like for me, or fun to sing, and like
great answer.
It can be either, you know.
Yeah, we love playing with the band, obviously.
Yeah,
like
band
they bring so much energy, and they're just so fun to have around. So like, yeah.
That's fantastic. Do you guys want to try to get another song in before the break?
Yeah,
You think
sure.
We can do that?
We can do that.
What are you thinking?
Let's do our next single. It's coming out August 7th.
Okay.
We're only releasing on the 7th from now on.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's good luck, right?
We like sevens for some reason.
That sounds like a
Crazy.
song too. All right. John and Amelie, 7,000 apart.
Another long distance one.
Sweet.
I left my favorite jacket in the backseat of your Saab from '94. It's not something I've done before. What was I thinking? 'Cause I don't even know the person you left behind. Now we're 4,000 miles apart. Did I leave my heart in the backseat? 'Cause I wanted you to have it. Was it a dream or did we wake up? Was it a break or did we break up? Nights in your jeans where we made up over and over and over again. Was it a dream? Was it a dream? You left your college hoodie, or did I actually steal it? I'm not sure why. I won't survive another goodbye. No, what were we thinking? 'Cause I don't even know the person you are left behind. Now we're 4,000 miles apart. Did you leave your heart with me? 'Cause you wanted me to have it. Was it a dream or did we wake up? Was it a break or did we break up? Nights in your jeans when we made up over and over and over again. Was it a dream? Was it a dream? Oh, I've been missing you like crazy, though my memory's getting icy. Are we really good together? Can we both find someone better? Will this life pursue me over? Will the distance grow us closer? Oh, we wake up. Was it a dream or did we wake up? Was it a break or did we break up? Nights in your jeans when we made up over and over and over again. Was it a dream? Was it a dream? Was it a dream? Over and over and over again.
That's 7,000 apart. Was it a dream? Is that what it's called? Was it a dream?
Was it
All
a
right.
dream?
We'll have a few more minutes with John and Amelie coming up after this very, very short break. Don't go away, folks. I'm going to tell you who's on tomorrow night, too, when we come back. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the 7,000 Apart show here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin as a game of cribbage with good friends. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Hey, it's John Mino.
And Jim Schmidt from Mino and the Mayor.
Want to stay in the loop with all things Northeast Wisconsin? Sign up for the WGBW Weekly Newsletter.
Get the latest local stories, updates on the weather, and a special feature from our Mino and the Mayor podcast.
It's your one-stop shop for real news and great conversation in Northeast Wisconsin.
Log on to WGBW.FM today and get signed up.
Real news, great conversation. Sign up today at WGBW.FM/newsletter.
I'm Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. In a chaotic and somewhat discombobulating end to the process, Wisconsin lawmakers passed a state budget and Governor Tony Evers signed it into law at about 1:30 a.m. on July 3rd. What made this budget different from the others signed in this era of divided government is that Democratic votes were needed to pass the budget in the state Senate. Part of the reason that was made possible is because of new, fairer maps. Last November, Senate Democrats flipped 4 seats. shrinking the Republican majority to just an 18 to 15 margin. Now, candidates are already lining up to take this the rest of the way and flip the chamber. Democrat Jenna Jacobson, who currently serves in the Assembly, is now running for Senate, challenging Republican Howard Markline in the 17th district. If Democrats can flip that district and one more seat, they could control the state Senate for the first time in more than 15 years. That would be a big deal for state politics in Wisconsin.
Find all of Dan's work at the Recombobulation area.
Bonkers Saloon in Manitowoc reminds us to salute our emergency first responders, law enforcement, firefighters, and military for their professionalism, commitment, and bravery. These men and women are willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. First responders are the backbone of our country. They deserve our admiration, so thank them for all they do for us. From Bonkers Saloon in Manitowoc, may God bless America.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
The Maggie Dawn Show.
Stephanie Bloomingdale, president of the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. The big brutal bill is basically an all-out assault on working Americans.
No tax on tips. It's not as good as it sounds because a lot of tipped workers are not paying that higher level of taxes in the first place.
As the wealthiest among us, dine at the feast of all feasts. Don't be fooled by the table scraps.
The award-winning Maggie Dawn Show at its new time, weekdays 4 till 6 p.m.
Welcome back, folks. This is about as much fun as people can have on a Tuesday night. I don't want to speak. I know it's my show. That sounds like bragging, but my thanks to Mike Schmidt, who was on earlier. Always very funny. Thank you for all your texts, and thank you to 7,000 Apart. We have a few more minutes with these guys, John and Amelie, who are in the studio and always rock the place. It's so much fun when you guys are here. And we've got a couple more texts. We should probably bang this out, too, before we go back into the music. Bridget from the 818 says, regarding Henry. What is that, like our fifth regarding Henry?
I think that's the winner tonight.
I think it is, and I haven't even seen it. So, John, you have a favorite Harrison Ford movie?
It's so hard because I love, like, I literally have a Star Wars tattoo, as you can see here. Can you tell? Yeah.
So does he. Show him yours, Con.
Yeah, I just got it.
Nice.
Like, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but it's just like in Indiana Jones, like it's just, he's the main guy, and
fun.
like
it's
so good. Like, I don't know. Those are like the main ones. I haven't seen all of his other like catalog, but I just like Indiana Jones is so good.
He's just one of those guys that makes good movies. He's got a couple clunkers, but guys like him and Tom Cruise, they just know how to pick a movie, and he's had a great career. So that's a good answer. Tomorrow night on the show, folks, Civic Media Sports Authority, Mike Clemens will be here. We haven't talked sports in a while, so it'll be fun to have Mike on the show at 6:35. And then our pal and the legendary founder of Let Me Be Frank Productions here in Green Bay, Frank Hermans, will be here in the studio, and he always brings his guitar too. Do you guys know Frank?
Oh yeah, he's a great friend. I actually took singing lessons when I was here as an exchange student. I took singing lessons from Amy. His wife,
yeah.
And then I was in one of their shows when I first moved here.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I played Mary Ann in like a thing. Yeah, it was
like
great.
Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, Gilligan Island thing.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was great.
He's great. Frank is always fun.
He's wonderful.
Just like you guys. You're all some of my favorite guests. So it's great to have you here. 7,000 Apart is in the studio. And so what was I going to ask you guys? All right. Do you have, first of all, how was Summerfest? Because I almost forgot to ask you that.
Insane.
Really?
Absolutely
Tell me
insane.
about it.
I mean, it's the biggest stage we've ever been on, I think.
Yeah.
This was the U.S. Cellular stage. Like, you can see it from the highway. Like, that's how big this stage is.
Yeah.
Like, how insane
was
is
it
that?
scary?
I was actually not nervous.
I was just so excited and just had fun. It was like there were like 10 people behind stage like helping out to make it happen, and it's like that doesn't happen for us. Normally we have to do everything.
We normally have to set up all the speakers and all the lights, and we just showed up.
Just showed up and did our thing for an hour and left.
We had a backstage area. Like, we had a little green room. Like,
there's a bathroom.
Free water.
It was amazing.
Come on.
There was free water as well. Incredible.
So that's the biggest venue you've played. You played for an hour. Did you do all original stuff or some covers?
Basically, yeah. We did like 3 covers maybe, I think.
Yeah.
But it was great. We worked with a live stagecoach from Nashville and
the same week
for rehearsing.
So we felt really ready and just excited to show people the new stuff
That's
we've
like
been
one of
working
the
on.
biggest music festivals in the world.
Yeah.
What a thrill.
I know.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at in terms of, I'm sure you'd like to have those guys setting up for you and doing all that stuff to get to that stage, but you make your living at this. And it's a grind, I'm sure, at times, but you're still on the rise, right? I mean, you guys put out new music and you're building your, following and all that kind of stuff. Are you surprised it's taken this much work? Or are you like, oh, this hasn't been that bad? We're still,
I think every day's different.
Okay.
And but I think we've come to, like, at least I have, to a point where I'm like, wow, I get to do what I love for a living.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's tough. Like, it's not like we are swimming in money in any shape or form. But I get to do what I love, and I could do this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like Wisconsin is also, like, so fine when it comes to age. Like, we have so many, like, friends and people we look up to that have been on the grind for that many years.
Yeah.
And they're still killing it. They're still doing it, and they're still getting
growing,
booked. So there's not, like, I think when I was in my younger 20s, I was more concerned about my age, especially being a woman in the music industry. I was like, oh, we gotta get our big break now, where otherwise it's too late. But now I'm more like, wow, we've come this far. We're growing every single year, and, like, nothing is stopping us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't care about our age. They just want to have a good time.
They want to be rocked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
we normally get that.
Put new music out and, like, I mean, that's so great. So you're here. You've got all these dates between now and September. We got lucky and got you in here on a night off. But when do you head back to Sweden?
Early September, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like September 3rd, I think. And then we're playing a wedding on September 5th, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be busy, but
It'll be fun.
We're excited. It's going to be nice to be back too.
I think it's great, and I love having you guys here. You're one of my favorites, and one of these nights when I'm not working, I'll have to actually come out and see you play a whole set. I get these snippets, which are great and a lot of fun.
Yeah, you get.
But I would love to come see a whole set sometime.
Oh my gosh, you'd love the band too. Like, come out to a band show and then you get, like, the full experience.
Do you guys want to play us out?
We can play you out.
All
Let's
right,
do a little
7,000
up-to-date,
apart. John and Amelie are here. Catch them. Go. Where should people go? Just 7,000apart.com?
7,000apart.com or Instagram, Facebook.
They're a great follow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you again to Mike Schmidt. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, I'm Pete Schwaba saying goodnight, Wisconsin. Here's 7,000 Apart playing us out.
Tripping on words like it's a tightrope, running in circles, I might explode. Kept on a large line, my head spinning. Tiptoe around, it's not a fair game. It's my understanding that I'm insane, driving me wild. Why would you ask this of me? Well, I'm done fooling around, so done. What found one? Let the cutter fall, decide before it all. You're up to date, I'm up to date. Having my head is an illusion. I'm waking up from my